Hello, YouTube followers. This is Gary Campbell with Dilettante.
Jeez.
We're doing 31 YouTubes in 31 days. Dilettante is going to tell you a little bit about his businesses. I was really excited. We see each other passing all the time. And I'm doing interviews and I'm looking at him one day and I'm like, what do you do? And I know he's an artist. So just share about, I like tell them about the comic books first, but you can go ahead and just share.
Well, we have a comic book, PB Soldiers. It's a graphic novel, and it stemmed off the clothing line we used to have called PBS Unlimited. So we took the character and transformed him into a comic book character. And what it is based on black characters, whatever, to give the youth, black kids, our own characters to look up to. So that's the basis of the comic book, where it came from as far as the historical background. And the comic book itself is in the premises, it's set in the year 2020 when everybody's considered a terrorist and all the world governments united and became one, which happening right now. To this day, you're starting to see it like with the TPP fast track. So basically, our character, he works for the government as an assassin, but then he started to see visions of his ancestors, so it started pulling him into a different direction. So he started to realize he's fighting for the wrong side. So as the character develops, his intuition gets stronger, and so it takes off from there. You know, I don't want to give too much.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But he doesn't have superpowers.
No, he knows crime or guy.
But his intuition, that's what artists work with. We work with our intuition.
The divine
right.
power.
Yes, yes. That's good stuff. And tell the audience a little bit about the team, because the team is very important in terms of we're artists and we want to learn how to work more as collectives and collaborative.
Like, far as the team, I do more the marketing and development, product placement. My partner Nasir, Gifted, he does the writing. He's the writer. Then my other partner Garcia, he's the illustrator. He does all the drawings. And Garcia, actually, he's overseas. He resides overseas. So we just tell him what he wants, and he ship us the artwork that way. And we work that way. And we all come from a background, an engineering background. Actually, I went to NJIT, Science High School in North. My partner Nasir, he went to Science and NJIT too. So we coming from a whole different perspective, not the typical artist background. We're coming from the science and technology background. We're applying our knowledge to further our art.
You can say that again. And I only say that because we're learning that there's no prototypical artists. You know, you're creators.
Yes.
And we come through this structure, this culture rather, and we get our experience, we get our education. But we kind of converge to come to that point to realize that we can create in some form.
I mean, creativity is an expression of the soul to me.
Right.
And so now when you talk about your creativity, you can't be held in a box. But at the same time, as an artist, there's one thing about creativity, and there's another thing about business. And sometimes the most difficult thing I run into with a lot of artists, they get stuck in the creative world. But they're trying to sell their art.
Right.
And being that they're trying to sell their art, they don't understand there's certain rules of business now they have to follow. And so no matter what your art is, I think Jay-Z said it best. He said, give me anything, I could sell well to a water. And basically what he's trying to say, the rules of business or the hustle remains the same. Only thing changes the product.
Right.
And that's what they have to understand. And also, what I learned in my short period in life is that not all artists are businessmen.
Right, that's true.
And like when you said the team, sometimes some of these artists need to develop a team. They need to develop a manager, a publicist, someone who goes out there and helps them and structure their business for them. And a lot of them need that. So that's one of the main avenues that we're trying to do.
When you talk about business, that's so powerful because many of us, and I could even include myself, we like to be isolated
Yeah.
because that creativity factor is so powerful.
Yeah.
It's like I create through the creator, and we feel that we can make money and make all those things work.
Yeah.
But in most cases, it's not a reality.
No, you know, and it's not a reality because that concept sometime was created through TV and media.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Again, how this culture.
Yeah, people sometimes be watching TV and see the artists and they all this, but they never see the backside of it. Or they never see the front story. Or sometimes you see some artists that are big, but no one never shows you the side of that artist where they struggle, the mission, what they went through to get to that point. Now, not everybody went through that point. Some people got a lucky start, whatever. So, you know, so that's one of the main points you have to understand. Like, I always say there's a difference from the scientist and the inventor and the businessman. The scientist or inventor, they'll stay in the lab all day. Sometimes the artist will stay working on a painting for like 5 days, and you come by and you say, it's good. No, I still need a little more. Brother, it's good. No, I'm telling you, I can make it. No. Oh my God. Hey, just give me the word.
Is that you?
No, that's not me.
No, not you. Yeah. I'm talking to them. Is that one of y'all out there? Yes, you're absolutely right.
And I see that all the time where sometimes they need a real businessman says, forget that. Give me the artwork or give me the event and I'm going to let the market test it. And then after the market test it, we'll bring it back, tweak it, make the adjustments. And that's the way you keep moving forward. And then also you have to learn from other people. Whatever. Like I always say, it's 3 ways you learn. You learn through your own experience. You learn by just simply watching. And you learn from people telling you. And sometimes with a lot of artists, they go through this struggle because they sometimes don't listen. They're in their own little bubble. Like, sometimes you gotta, boop, let me bust the bubble for you. So you wake the hell up. Yeah, like you're dreaming right now. Yeah. And then, like when you say the business side of it, one thing I also learned, the hardest thing is how do you price your work? How much is your work worth? And how do you do a comparative study compared to other work? And that's what a lot of artists have a hard concept doing. See, with us, we have the comic book, graphic novel. We do the T-shirts, the skateboard. So it wasn't that hard to compare the work because you say, all I got to do is go to different comic books and average. It's easy. But when you're a painter...
What about other medium that they can't measure?
Yeah, sculpture. Then it's a little more difficult. But then you got to say, who are you? How long you been out? How long did it take you to do that?
That's part of the measurement tool.
Yeah, and then it say some of these artists, they outprice themselves. They be like, yeah, I want $800 for this painting. Sometimes like, who are you? Like, why would I pay $800 for that? And sometimes we have to look at that. We have to do self-evaluation. So that's some of the things I would like to leave and let people understand that.
Do you teach like what you just talked about? Because that's all that stuff needs to be taught.
Yeah, right now I'm working with a female, brilliant, intelligent sister named Abby, and we're setting up classes. So it's coming out. It's called The Business of Art.
Okay, all right.
So we're going to be teaching people business from an art standpoint, and not so much just paintings, whether graphics, whether clothing, because I was in the fashion industry, so I know that to the T. So we're going to teach the business of art or making money off your work.
Right. That's critical because I mean, I hear you as teacher, and I was talking to Sean Battle, and again, he was talking about we need that teaching component.
Yeah.
Talk to the community about what we should be in terms of how we should conduct ourselves amongst each other. We were talking earlier, and I was just asking you, what would you have to say to the community, how we should conduct ourselves?
Like, far as a community, I always feel as though to make these situations better, we need to walk in a more positive light. We need to be more positive towards each other. Also, we need to talk about more positive. Put that in the universe. A lot of times, We get caught up in negativity. Who got shot? Who got locked up? Things like that. Somebody got beat by the police. Another crime. Another this. Sometimes to overcome that is through positivity.
Right.
You know, we need that. I think the best slogan I keep, it stays in my head. I think Jimi Hendrix said, things will change in this society when the power of love, when something like when we have the love of power. Wait.
It's all right. Take your time.
He said things will change when the power of love is greater than the love for power.
That's it. That's it.
And that's what happens. People have become so greedy, so intense for power. They became megalomaniacs. So sometimes also you got to disconnect from the negativity. If it's a bad vibe or you feeling a bad vibe from somebody, sometimes you just got to disassociate yourself. It's not wrong with that. And for us to grow in this community, we have to learn to support one another, support each other's craft, financially, like money-wise. Not just, oh, that's my man.
Not just with the mouth.
Yeah, or, yeah. Put some money up behind the person.
I like it. Yo, that's my man right there.
Yeah.
He be doing that.
Yeah.
You ain't bought a comic book.
Yeah, you ain't buy a comic book, buy the shirt or something. Or even if you can't afford it at that time, tell somebody else.
And I hope you have that in your teaching sessions.
Yeah.
Because that's a spiritual principle.
Yeah, it
that
is.
we don't really know in our communities. We don't implement.
Yeah.
We have to be told, or we have to be taught.
Yeah, and that's one of the key elements, cooperative economics. All right.
All right,
Take care. Cooperative economics, that's one of the main elements we have to teach. And it has to be instilled in you.
Yes.
To the point it's like waking up. It's got to be second nature. It's no different from like you brushing your teeth.
That's
like,
that's an excellent point.
And like I was reading, a brother said, he said, even if it means to support your people, you got to travel an extra couple of blocks. Then do that. There's
a sacrifice involved in it. See, people don't understand. There is sacrifice involved in supporting your own community.
Yeah.
We buy stuff that we don't even need. We have for years.
Yeah.
Why not take that $5, $10, or $20, $30, $40 and direct it back within?
And once you do that, the money will keep circulating.
Yes.
Like, for example, in business, one rule I always tell people in business. Another term, what's the social science term for marketing is what?
I don't know. What is social science?
Psychology.
Oh, okay.
Right? So what happens is, if you want your business to be successful, any successful people, a successful marketing person, they just study people.
Right. Okay.
So sometimes as people, we need to study each other and try to understand each other. And in business, you need to understand people's business habits. What makes them spend.
That's right.
Why they spend. So these
we get in a teaching session now.
Yeah, these corporations spend millions of dollars on
all they do.
On, what makes them want to eat this cereal? They'll take a bunch of kids and put them in a room and say, give them this cereal, see how they react. And then they'll do tests, and based on their reactions, they'll make their tweaks, whatever. And so sometime with us, we have to study what the people want, what they need. We need to go on deep studies like that.
Right.
We need to have these peer groups or these group sessions. But we don't, because everybody too busy off doing their own thing, and nobody want to work together. And now it's becoming critical that we have to work together because
there's nothing else there for us to do.
Yeah, it's like the resources are so scarce now.
Right. And they're just cutting everything off.
Yeah, like if they could, they would cut your legs off. Like rip physically your legs.
Turn the water off and turn off the sunshine.
Yeah, and so now, and then we have to also, too, take a time and take a step back and just appreciate nature. You know, and just, if you appreciate nature and respect nature and take a step back and breathe, do yoga, do some physical activity, get the mind right, and start eating right, and you'll begin to see your whole lifestyle begin to change. And it will help your business mindset, and it will help your arts and crafts.
And it will help you love, because you get to appreciate other human beings.
Yeah, and that's it. Sometimes go hug a tree. People think that's crazy, but you hug a tree.
I took some pictures hugging a tree. And
Me too. I did it in Brooklyn. They thought I was crazy. They was like, "What is he doing?"
I heard James Small say that the Indians used to call the trees and the flowers my mother and my father because they understood the cycle, and we don't really understand the cycle. That we're really connected to everything.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't be destroying anything. We should be creating and building in that constant like recycle mode.
Yeah.
Of creativity and love.
How they say, everything is in the all, and the all is in all, and nothing is greater or smaller than all.
See, I'm noticing you hit me with these quotes now.
Yeah, so that means everything is connected.
That's right.
Nothing operates outside itself. So that's one of the things we have to get to. We have to fully incorporate that. Like somebody do something over there, it affects us over here. And so the same, you cut down the trees, it affects us in the long run. All this is connected. So it's just a good thing to even have an outlet like this to express to people, to get the message out, because social media is a powerful thing.
It is. It is.
So I mean, it's just a blessing, just to even be here, to even share any knowledge.
I talked about Shahid, and when I did an interview with Beacon of Light, I was ready to go on the other side of the camera.
Yeah.
After you started teaching, I'm getting ready to go on the other side of the camera too. No, that's. I mean, I appreciate that though. The spiritual component. Yeah. We can't throw that away. I mean, we're talking around it, but we're really talking about spirituality.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to call it religion, but the thing about religion is that you just have to understand within religion, it's the spiritual component that you understand, and you're able to apply that into the science of life, into everyday living.
Yeah, and the reason why I always deal with spirituality instead of religion, because once you start saying religion, automatically put yourself in a context. People think Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Judaism,
in those boxes.
Yeah, any of the isms.
Right.
But when you say spirituality, you're dealing with more of universal truth.
It opens up.
Yeah,
the whole thing. Spirituality.
Yeah, it's also spirituality, the divine law is nature and spirituality.
Right, yes.
That's the law. So in spirituality, nature is the divine law, whereas the religion, sometimes it's contradiction. You're like, well, that doesn't make sense. All right. And then you got to separate and take, and then people get in battles and arguments. But when you talk about spirituality and universal energy, nobody never argue with you.
You
can't argue with right.
Look at the green behind us. Look at the grass. Look at the flowers. And it constant recycles through seasons.
Yeah.
It don't stop. It don't change.
And so when you talk about spirituality, I look at it as energy.
Yes.
And it's two levels. It's upper and lower.
Yes.
So your upper, or you say upper consciousness, lower consciousness. So when you walking in righteousness, that's you operating your upper.
That's right.
When you're doing wrong and negative stuff, that's you operating your lower. But in religion, they'll say angels and God and the devil.
Sin.
They'll sin, but in actuality, sometimes with sin is nothing more than you going against the laws of nature or the consequences for your actions.
That's what
it's
sin
not
is.
so much as you're gonna repent.
A right or wrong.
Yeah, it's just a consequence.
Or bad. Right.
Yeah, that's cause and effect, as they say. Right. There's
natural laws. No, these laws don't change for anybody.
Yeah.
In this physical realm, they don't change for anybody.
Yeah, it's universal truth, as we like to say.
That's a better word.
Yeah, universal truth. Because what happens out here, a lot of people are dealing in relative. What's relative for them at that moment. But when you deal in absolute or universal truth, whether I don't like it or not, it's still truth. I may don't like
gravity. You jump off too far.
But it's still there.
You jump off that building over there. It's going to take effect, baby.
I may don't like the trees.
That's right.
But in actuality, whether I like it or not, I need them.
That's right.
So that's what we got to get down.
Universal laws.
Yeah.
And apply these universal laws as we interact and work with one another.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all. I mean, it's simple, but yet it's profound.
Yeah, for every action there's a reaction.
Yes, yes, yes.
So just as I shake your hand and give you energy,
right?
You shaking my hand and give me energy.
Right.
So it's going back and forth.
Right.
So that's what we gotta understand. Like, we feed off each other.
But have that intention.
Yeah, good intentions.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
because I can shake your hand
like,
and have the right. There you go. Did y'all see that?
Yeah,
it's
like,
intention.
Yeah, like
we keep talking about intention and heart.
Yeah.
So it's not just the action. You know, it's not just. It's the intent.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning. We walk through the park. Our intention is the energy that we.
Because even our ancestors, right? I don't know if people know about Kemetics, African spiritual basis.
Well, if you don't, you know now.
Right? In Kemetics, you know, they have the principles of Mayat, and they have on the walls, right? And they say when every man pass, his heart will be placed on the scale of Mayat.
Yes, sir.
And it will be judged. His heart represents his intentions, his divine, what he's really thinking. If your heart is lighter than the feather, you go into the halls where Amen Ra with Ra. And Ra's sitting on his throne with a rod and a staff. That's what the Bible
yes,
I
know.
And then who's
Tell
behind him?
Is
Het Havel, is Nimbehet, and his wife As.
Yes.
So Osar sitting on throne, As behind him. So these ladies, they behind them with their back. Which you always hear, the women are the backbone of the family, right. Which is true in some sense, but not in others. Because the backbone of the family is the family.
Right.
Because you take one out, it still falls apart. So anyway, your heart is placed on this scale. And like when you said intentions, where does your heart lie? And a prime example, you see this played out over and over again. Because on this same scribe, they got 12 interrs, 12 divine beings at the top. They're the judges while you sitting there. You're being led by one of the Tahuti. He's keeping records. Where do you see this at when you go to court?
Yeah, of course.
The judge, the record keeper. You trial by a jury of 12.
Nothing
and
new.
Then they
nothing
got the scale up there.
Nothing
so
new.
It's like to say sometimes we just have to learn our own history.
That's right.
And once we learn our own history, we'll be good.
Right.
And our history teaches holistic. It keeps it, say, the sun, stars, and the moons. Teaches everything.
Covers everything.
Yeah, but what happens, we strayed away from that. Even in our culture, in the Nubian, Kemetic, Africa culture, whatever you subscribe to, we dealt with things 360 degrees. Even when we deal with artwork and statues, we did the whole 360. We worked on the back. A lot of times in European culture, they just did 2 degrees. Mm-hmm. So we did 300. So you seen a statue, they even worked on his back, everything. And they got that from it. They said, oh, we got to do this holistic thing. So we even have to do this in everything we do. I always say there's the 4 principles that you must, your holistic foundation. You must have your political in order, your cultural,
that's right,
your social, and your economics.
That's right.
And that's your square, your foundation. And you build on it to become the apex. It becomes the pyramid or the Husa. And that's how it goes. And that's the life. That's how I live life. I say, all right, I got to build on these 4 foundations. Sometimes one may be stronger than another. But
still building.
You building. And that's what it is. It's about building. And building not just for yourself, but for the next generation.
That's right.
You know, because what they say, it takes a village to raise a child. But not realizing everybody in the village is a child. Because we're all children of the mother, father, divine of creation. So everybody's a child in the village, because no matter how old you get, you're still your mother and father child.
That's right.
So therefore, the village is supposed to provide the resources for the elders.
That's big.
For the teenagers, for the young adults, whatever is needed, the village is supposed to provide that. And that's what we got to get back to.
Right.
That village rights, that village rule. And we have to get back to respecting the law. We don't respect the law anymore.
No, of course, our culture, this culture has replaced that with this crazy, all these crazy notions. So that's why we out of sync.
Yeah, we are. And until we get back in tune, we gonna be like, oh, our foundation always gonna be wobbly and shit. Anybody could come in and take you out. Anybody.
That's where we're at.
Till you get right here, anybody can take you out. You know, and that's the, you know, I just want to let people know it's time to get right in the mind. Mind, body.
That's a good word.
Spirit. And the fourth one, again, your square, you must have cosmic connection. Always,
that's spiritual.
Yes.
Gotta have that spiritual connection.
Yeah, so you build up your physical. Your physical is your temple. Then you build up your mental. You build up your spiritual. Then the cosmic, which connects you to the universe, sun, stars, and the moons. And you understand that you'll be powerful. You won't have to worry about nobody bothering you.
Like Shahid said, we'll be beacons of light.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Not just one. Beacons.
Yeah, and that's what it means to illuminate. To illuminate is just walking the highest level of consciousness you could. And that's what we have to do. And even, let's take it back to the art and the culture.
Good.
When this artist is in his mode, at that particular moment, he's illuminating.
Yes. Illumination.
And so now when the world sees his art, they be like, wow. Or see her heart, they like, wow. Because he transferred the energy.
That's right.
Into the canvas, into the sculpture, into the, whether the clothing, whatever it may be, to the point make people gravitate to it. Just like when some of these artists, they put their heart and soul in the music. Tupac put his heart and soul. Curtis Mayfield. So that's why you gravitated to it, because it hit a certain frequency.
Even if you listen to it today.
Yeah, you like, that's what makes the great great.
That's right.
A great song is a song that you can listen to 10 years from now. You still be like, yo, that's still touching me. I listen to Nina Simone. And I'm like, wow, this is deep. But I've been rocking to it for years.
She come from the heart. She come with pure passion.
Yeah.
She believed in what she did, and where she was.
And that's what it is. And she put it out.
Yes, laid it
Curtis Mayfield, Marvin Gaye, Bob Marley. The list goes on.
Yeah.
Some known and unknown.
Right.
But the thing is, we have to give people their credit to it. And one thing I would like to say, give people their roses now. Don't wait till they die before you honor them.
Right. That's a good word, because people, I know, so for some reason we like to withhold what we can give to somebody now.
Yeah, like say, yo, I appreciate your work.
Right.
Like,
and we look at it and give you a look.
Yeah,
and walk away.
Because people are not used to nobody saying, yo, I'm really feeling you. Like, I appreciate your work, man. You're a gift to God, gift to the earth. And we need to start doing that. We need to start complimenting each other.
All the time.
Yeah, like.
All the time.
Yeah, and so that's, you know, that's some of the things, the elements I would like to leave the people with. You
Look
know,
out there, people.
Yeah, you know, and just be more positive.
Tell them where they can reach you at.
Well, you can check us out on pbsoldiers.com. www.pbsoldier.com, all together one word, pbsoldier.com. You just check us out, reach me there, Instagram, Brother Sunflower, Facebook, Dilettante J Bass. So you just hit me up, and you know, we can build. If you want to work on a project, we can work on a project together. If you need advice, I give you advice. I'll put you in touch with people, resources that I have, because a lot of times we got a habit of not sharing the resources. Even when we don't need them and somebody else need them, we still want to hold on to them. Nah, I'm not like that. If I got a man or a woman that could help you, go ahead, do you. Like, you know, people hold it harboring, no, I can't. Knowing they in a total different business. So, you know, just hit me up. I believe each one teach one. We got to share the love. You know, and that's it. That's all, you know. Anything else?
Thank you, man.
It's all right, man.
We're going to come back for a teaching session, man.
Yeah. Peace.
Out.
All right.